Hi, I'm Alexandra Ellis, and I identify as a person in long-term recovery. And I got sober of July of 2014, and it was definitely not an easy road to get to where I am today, but my life is really, really good today, and in a lot of ways I have no idea how it got like this, except that like Matt said and many other people said, that there was people that came before me that laid out the path, and all I had to do was follow and then change absolutely everything. So I grew up in Anchorage, and to a really nice family. My dad is a lawyer and my mom's an accountant, and there's three of us, 3 kids. I'm the youngest of 3. I'm the only girl, which means I was insanely spoiled. But like I just felt like from a very young age, like I was like an astronaut without a tether. Like I just lived in my own little world, and I felt lonely and isolated, and like was always vibing for somebody's attention, whether it was in school or it was from my brothers or it was from my parents. There was just always something missing. And when I got older, by the time I was 8, I had my first thoughts of suicide, because it was just like, oh gosh, this life, it just can't be like this. And by the time I was 12, I had my first drink of alcohol. It was Kirkland tequila, and I just remember feeling when I drank it, and my friends were there too, that they didn't feel the way that I did. And for me, it felt like connection. It felt like, oh my gosh, this has been missing my entire life. I can now talk to people, have a conversation. It was like that tether, and it brought me right back down to earth, and I could have a conversation. And that accelerated really quickly, and I started to live a double life. And for me, I always like to say that my drinking and my using was a sprint, not a marathon. And for me, the big thing was, like, I'm so young. Like, there's no way that I can be an alcoholic or an addict. Like, first time I went to treatment, I was 16. I just thought, there's no way. And then what happened for me is the treatment center that I went to was a long-term facility out in Eagle River, and they taught me some tools, and they told me things like, if you stop drinking and you pick back up, you'll start back right where you left off. And I was like, there's no way. That's not going to apply to me. I'm special. But it was true. And I couldn't believe it. And for me, what happened was really fast. I got out of treatment. I went back to Service High School, where I was now that weird girl who went to residential treatment at 16. Or that's the story I told myself, right? And it went really fast. And one night, July 18th of 2014, I decided to throw a party at my parents' house while they were out of town. And the next morning, I drove my friend home, and I was backing out, and all I can remember is just this necklace in the mirror of my truck just swinging back and forth, and then the sound of the bicyclist hitting my car, and then the police at the house, and me telling the police that it was me, I was the one that did it, I left, and I'm the one that hit that man. And I don't know why this happened, but the police officer said, don't say anything else. And we did a field sobriety test, and he sat me down on the bench there, and he called my parents, who were just beside themselves. And he got a phone call, and the person on the phone told him that the man that I'd hit had died. I'd killed him because of my actions that day. And it was like every sense of self that I had just evaporated, and all I could do was just pray that there would be peace for all the people out there that were suffering because of me. And what happened next was a series of really weird events that I'm still today not sure how to properly describe. My parents came in from Willow. The police didn't arrest me. I got brought to Providence Hospital, Discovery Unit, where I made a decision. I was like, okay, I could either kill myself because it really feels like the better option. Maybe like a lot of people would be happy that I'm dead. Or I can try to live every single day as an amends for what I've done. And I chose the latter path. And it was not the easy way. Honestly, jail probably would have been a lot easier. Jail, you just get to hang out and like people and lay in bed and whatever. Like, I went back to treatment. I was court ordered to go to treatment again, and I had to sit in front of a group of people every week, and they told me all my character defects, and I had to look at what I had done and who had become and the events that had got me to there. And it was no longer like, you're 17 years old, like there's no way that you can be an alcoholic. It was like, you're 17 years old, and if you don't get sober, then I don't know. And so it became a way of life for me. It really felt like nobody else wanted to get sober in the facility, and they gave me the opportunity to try things that I really hadn't given myself a chance to try. And it was like I was in a bubble. So like, people will ask me about the court stuff, and like, I mean, I don't know, because I just did it. Like, people told me to do stuff, and I was like, yep, I'm done, I'm doing it. Like, I obviously have no control over my own actions, and I'm willing to do whatever you tell me to do. And so I graduated high school, and I didn't have a lot of connection with my family after the accident. And so when I graduated high school, I hadn't talked to my dad for 6 months. And when I walked down like the one hallway at the treatment center, my dad was there. And I had a very similar experience when I graduated college this year. Crowd full of people, walked out. My dad was right there. And having that connection back in my life by just doing some simple things, like changing everything, going to meetings, being of service, like somewhere like here, where I'm scared to death of what people think about me, you know? And the truth is, it's none of my business. So